Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Lionel and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We're covering Heart and Hustle, Season 1, Episode 8, and the grand finale for this season. It's also D-Day for Mr. Joshua. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Will you support me even more by liking this video? You can share it. And I also invite you to subscribe to my channel so that you can stay connected to what I have going on over here. It's pretty cool over here. Also, if you can, please leave your comments below. Now, let's get into this finale. All right, y'all. We finally get out of Josh what he did wrong. Now, of course, I expressed like, it's gotta be something about his sexuality or something. Because it's just like, what else could there be? He already cheated. We find out what he did is that he spent the church's money. Meaning, Josh went on and made some crazy investments using the company funds and all that good stuff. That it's the funds as far as the company that him and his wife Elena were sharing or doing business together. He did all of this day trading and ended up losing a bunch of money. He kept it hidden for over a year, and the only reason that he had to reveal himself is when Elena wanted to do some things for the company and wanted to use the money. I understand why she said that she doesn't trust him. I understand it. On one hand, I understand her, and on the other, I was kind of like, is that it? I did feel that way. Because I was like, it's gotta be so scandalous. And maybe that's why I put my expectation up there, and maybe I shouldn't have done that. However, Josh, you still wasn't gonna tell her. And I think that is the most effed up part about this whole situation. It's just you were backed into a corner where you had to now say something after doing that. Shout out to Robin and Juan Dixon. Now, I'm not gonna stay too much on it. I really feel like Juan was the one that really lost the money and Robin be covered because of how he treats her and how she still kind of just allows him to just dog her out sometimes. That's my opinion. However, Elena, you were covering his secret, and I don't think that it would have been reciprocal if you had done that. And that's the thing with a lot of women. You guys will be ride or die, and somehow you'll be punished if you ever tell what's up. But those same jokers will end up manually burying you in the ground themselves if you do anything that shows up anything of betrayal. Now I understand why she has her own business. However, you like to dress stuff up, and I also understand love covers a multitude of sins. I get all of that from a biblical sense and whatever you want to do as far as marriage. We have learned that how Elena was brought up, that you just don't speak and you don't say anything and you hold all this stuff in. So Josh ended up saying, well, in regards to, well, I'll say Elena did. She was the breadwinner. Josh has a problem with her saying that because, you know, he was very involved in the business too. He also made a comment about where my life had actually ended up at is me being within the makeup industry or beauty industry. I said, so you really did have low self-esteem. I think you've had low self-esteem since you, I don't want to say born, but even when you were with Elena before you got married to her. As Chloe said, that you are a baddie. You've been a baddie, Elena, and obviously he had something else going on with him from the beginning of your marriage, pre your marriage, really, you know. And I think what adds more insult to injury, despite you lying about it, covering it up, and lying by omission by not saying what's going on, when you said, I need to work on myself, and then possibly we could do couples therapy. When you weren't really following up and doing that, and you get on the couch and now you want to cry. it can feel pretentious, unfortunately, because if you really wanted to work on yourself, sir, don't nobody need to push and prod you to do anything, especially when you know that you were in the wrong. But he's the type of person that he will make a property foreclosed and don't even tell his wife about, and then run out. You're that type of person because you're not trustworthy. You're not vulnerable enough. You're not accountable enough. Yeah. So, yeah. So as a man, his ego got in the way. And possibly he thought these investments were going to make him seem like the big man. Possibly that was what was going on. And right now, how I feel, Elena is the star of the household and he can't stand it. And it's not even about Elena. That's what's on her. That's her anointing. That's her gift. And you really can't stand it. You can't stand it. So that was the secret, y'all, that she's been holding and hiding out on. Elena did say that she felt embarrassed in regards to all of that. I mean, and then also she felt embarrassed for even staying. I would too. I would too. And you're saying that you never really healed from him cheating years ago. And unfortunately, when all trust is gone, you could be still cheating, sir. How will we know? It's not like you're going to be upfront about it. Like, she's going to have to catch you in something for her to even know if you are still being loyal to her in regards to not sharing your body with anyone else. And that's the place that I put you at, because, and probably where your wife has. Whew. Yeah. So we're going on this girls trip. This is Labrina's what do you want to call it? Kickback, wine kickback. Everyone makes it there. Everyone looks nice. I love how everyone just compliments everyone's outfits, all that good stuff. Da 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 da. Elena's the last one to get there. She's never been on a girls trip, and she's never felt comfortable within her marriage to take a girls trip, nor has she ever had a reassurance to take one from her husband. And then she lines out control. Yeah. Joshua doesn't even understand his name. Joshua, your name is leader, means leader. And you was about to lead this family, and you put them in through debt. And I just don't, I am beating you down because we're just finding out this information. If you're serious about rebuilding yourself up, cool. I don't think you're at that place as of yet, because your wife is still making it comfortable for you. In my opinion, your wife is making it still comfortable for you. Although she's not sharing a room with you, she's not having sex with you. No. And everything that, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, that's crazy that you've never been on a girls trip. So, yeah, I think that you have been reducing yourself for this marriage, ma'am. I do think you have. All right, so the wine starts pouring, and the wine connoisseur person tells them how you should be embracing the wine, even consuming it. You swirl the wine, sniff it, sip it, and savor it. This isn't a thing where you got to enjoy the whole experience instead of just trying to get this type of beverage in your body. All right, so of course there's a couple sit downs that happen. Just to let you know, I'm not talking about that toe mess. Whatever, not especially while they're eating. No, thank you. Latoya tells Elena, thank you for making me look pretty and being assertive to making sure all details were right in regards to how I was made up that day. I'm loving how the women are pouring back into each other, and they have got specifics and not doing all this generalization type stuff. That's cool, but it don't really mean that you are deep or don't have this type of connection sometimes. We can always be this shallow-based people that don't really have any type of depth. And nobody's saying that you have to be Iyanla Vanzant deep all the time. Latoya said that she was impressed with Nico when he came to was her birthday bash or no, not her birthday. It was her sweet 16 of her party. Labrina talks about her business and who she was even before she got the spa. She was a hairstylist for 10 years, and then she took a leap of faith and started the spa business. She was in this rugged building, and she struggled for a long time before Will got there and all that good stuff. You know, I think that that's cool. I think that you can really back it up, because most of these people just think that you hit a, if you get with a sports dude, that you hit a lick. But obviously, Labrina has been in her hustle mode, heart and hustle. So what she's got on the tail end, as far as with her husband, cool. Live in the fruit of your land, ma'am. Ro, she feels like she's, well, she doesn't feel, she's in her soft girl era. She's used to wearing black, and black can represent the type of mood that you're in, and it's good to just shed that. For me, a lot of times when I'm just dealing with a lot of when you don't feel good about yourself and how you even look, I will change my colors, even if I don't feel it at the time. I won't wear any type of black color, but just to keep my mood together. You know, when you have body dysmorphia, that's what it is. I will just change my color so that my attitude can change, can be readjusted. Even, again, like I said, if I don't feel like it at the moment. So it's good to see that everyone's seeing this glow upon her face. I'm so glad that this group isn't just so shallow based, because they'd be like, you got some sex, didn't you? If that's all you can say that just gratifies you, that fulfills you and builds you up, then that's just crazy. That is just so crazy. Having a man and having him sex you down. That's the only thing about you. But I'm glad that this is not that type of group. Even though they will have conversations about it. I'm not saying that, but Lord. No, Ro is working on herself, and I'm loving to see all that I am seeing about it. She says about herself, I knew myself a month ago and even a week ago. But today, I don't even know myself. Meaning she's on a self-discovery of herself as to who she is now, and she's enjoying the journey, and love that about her. She says that she's moved out of survival mode and into self mode. I gotta put me first, Lucius. I gotta put me first. And she does that. And even with her ending credit card, she puts herself all the way first. Love it. Love it for her. So then we sit down again for a night dinner it's a private dinner with under the stars with Chef Seven. Chloe is interested in Chef Seven, at least flirting with him, you know. And what I mean by interested, she's asking all of his details. We know he's from Detroit, all that good stuff. He goes to the gym. I'm like, okay. So then the others was like, aren't you with Jordan? And Chloe says, I'm single. To be fair, true, in a way. I'm not married, she says. But does Jordan know that? And then Chloe was like, he knows that. And then she felt like everyone was attacking her for no reason. Chloe, let's back that up. Now, we know how you have gone on and on and on and on about Jordan. Technically, it is true. You are single and not married. But from what we know, that you're in a relationship. And from what I know, what I see on Instagram, you got this couples page of you guys. What's up? So I don't think anyone's just attacking you. And then that just makes me kind of like, look at you crazy. I love you, but at the same time, I'm gonna look at you crazy. If you're going on about life like this, as far as you still flirting with folk, I just don't think that you would feel good if you knew that Jordan was pressing up on other ladies. I don't think you would, but hey. Anyways, men been doing it forever. Women, I guess, do your thing, but I still don't think that you would feel right about it. Anyways, Jordan should not have had any say, as we've been saying since when those episodes first aired. Yeah, Jordan should not have had say as far as your son, especially if you're still carrying on like this with Jordan. That's all I gotta say. So, no, I don't think that they are attacking you. We're just trying to figure out what is going on. Manura, I guess she was the one that was chosen to ask Elena, you know, how's everything going? Because Elena did say that she's going through a lot, and she's not talking a lot, but she doesn't want to ruin what's happening during this trip. Anyways. So Manura is the one that said, you know, how's things going? We know that you were going to therapy. Elena said that, you know, therapy was good. A lot of things were opened up there. And after them still having to ask, so what did Josh do? She finally tells them he was day trading and all this good stuff. And Ro was like, look, she's still going light on him because he would have been out the door if he did that to me. And I can't say that I disagree. They were asking, so do you trust him? Like, no, and he knows that. So are you at the point of divorce? She say, as of right now, if I stay in this mode, no, we are not going to be together. She also confesses that she's not in love with him. This marriage has been expired, Elena. However, you know, as the ladies were saying, you know, you don't have to be. The fire can reignite. I can say that much. It can. It just would take a lot of work. But I know Elena's at the point by saying, I put in a lot into this relationship. I put up with a lot. And I'm not doing anymore. It's him that needs to do that. And he still wants to put his way in this relationship. And it's not going down like that anymore. I ain't against divorce, but it's just like, I just don't see a lot of successful people in divorce or staying married. Not anymore. I think that people have gotten the liberation of just staying and fighting, and it's not even because they are fighting. It's just that for whatever reason, they'll stick in the marriage. Some do it to save face. Some do it to, you know, do what society tells you to do. Stay by your man. Stand by your man. No matter how much he treats you dirty. And it could be vice versa too. You know, if you're, all I can say is if you both are in the ring and fighting, then give it a chance. You know, I would love to see more marriages successful because people do go through things. There's a lot of ebbs and flows in relationships at any level. So yeah, if you can, yeah. But if it's not an even playing field, then bye. And from what I'm seeing, just from a little bit, I don't even think Elena should have got married to this man. I think Elena would have been further down the road in her career and in life without this man in her life. That's just me. That's just me. And Chloe was like, yeah, we noticed that you didn't wear your wedding ring and that you've been sleeping apart. That all makes sense. That's why I thought it was just so, oh, there's got to be some scandalous stuff that happened. So Minora says, well, we have noticed that there's been like this dark cloud that you've been carrying around, da 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 da. Do you want to, or, oh, but that hit a trigger in Elena as far as saying dark cloud. What do you mean? I'm just coming around here being just a negative. I think that the energy that you possessed around them could change the mood. It could be really heavy. However, possibly Minora is an empath and she was carrying all that stuff. However, an empath may not have chosen the certain words if you are really trying to be a friend. And we're gonna get into that in just a second. It was asked, I think it was Labrina, like, do you want to stay married? And she said, yes. Do you want to, or you think that you're supposed to? And of course, a lot of opinions are you're supposed to fight for that marriage. God hates divorce. No, he don't like divorce. But he may not have called you two to be married in the first place. And it could be his will that y'all was supposed to be together, but if one person is not going to be in his will and the other person chooses to be in his will, however, guess what? He don't like divorce, but you could ask for forgiveness. If Christianity is the source of your empowerment, yeah, you can. So whatever. The next morning, some of the ladies are up. Other ladies are taking their time. The other ladies come in and they were like, I know y'all haven't started eating yet. Like they said, well, it's about 12 o'clock. Of course we're gonna eat. Minora was lighthearted, talking about somebody drinking her juice and all that good stuff. But they see that Minora has turned the corner as far as within this group and having a sense of humor and not take everything so literal. And they love that about her. Elena asks a question. What has been the most impactful part of this girls trip? Latoya says, you know, as far as us, or when we're going through this and do that, it's been great to see that when I am going through, you guys can be my umbrella. Latoya brings up the dark cloud comment, and immediately Elena checks in about that. Minora was saying it's not supposed to be about that, but Elena said, well, basically, if you're my friend or whatever, you wouldn't be saying that type of stuff, because how it was making her feel as if she was a burden. A friend should not say dark cloud. And then Elena says that you haven't been, speaking of Minora, and then also the others have not been there through her whole process. And Minora said, wait a minute. Since your dad's passing, I've been there. We've talked. I know personal things about you, you know personal things about me. Is that correct? Yeah. So how can you say that we haven't been there? You haven't been there. You haven't been there. I think that Elena is the type of person who is a ticking time bomb. Since she suppresses everything, nasty stuff is going to come up out of her. Because Manura was like, well, you know my heart. And she's like, no, I don't. Like, don't do that. That's how Manura was like, don't do that. You know who I am. You know what? She's basically like, do I know you? Manura says in her confessional, you know, I've had 7 deaths in my family, and she has not been there for me. And that's why I think that Manura is this empath type person that kind of can consume everything that somebody's going through or whatever. But she just was like, I cannot take that much negativity. I'm like, ooh, I don't know, because Manura now it's sounding like you're hearing Elena say stuff, and now you are coming back at her and saying stuff in a way to be combative. That's how I take it. Elena says, I don't believe that what I was sharing with you is negativity. I was being transparent. I thought I was with someone I can trust to actually open up to. I was shocked that they really had that type of relationship, because it didn't give that often at the beginning of the season. It looked like Labrina was the first one that could really have her to open up to. And then we were told that Chloe and Elena have this relationship, but we hardly see them interact with each other. So it's just like, okay, all right. Y'all didn't check in. They feel like, guess they have. Okay, you know my heart. I forget who walks off. Oh, Manura. She walks off and she goes out into, I don't want to say fields because it's grass or whatever. Elena goes out to talk to Manura. Both of them are saying to each other that they are both disappointed in that interaction that just happened. Elena starts off by saying, first, I want you to know, want you to understand, I love you. And Manura said, I don't. And I mean, fair, because you're saying that you love me, but you said that you don't know my heart. And they talk about that, all that good stuff later on. Like, how can you? That's 2 different type of faucets running. You're talking out of 2 sides of your mouth at this moment to me. Again, there's this defense and there's just stuff that she's lashing out at that may have nothing to do with Manura at all. She don't know that per se, possibly, but it's just like now she's in fight mode, maybe because of all the feelings that she feels about Josh at this moment that have been opened up and have come to the top during therapy. Who knows? Elena said that those type of words like dark cloud makes her feel unsafe and like minimizing the pain I was going through. And Manura said that was not really it. Elena admits that she was taking a jab when she said that I don't know your heart. That's something. That's someone you got to watch. I love Elena. That is someone that you got to watch. I don't know what sign she is. Hopefully she's if she's a Scorpio, y'all in trouble. That's all I can say. Because when a Scorpio is hurt or they're gonna lash out. There's other signs that do it too, but them Scorpios, ooh, the Geminis too. Manura says that I think that you're taking so much emphasis on the word and not really the message. I don't know if I agree with that, Manura. There's always a way that you can say something. You can word something. And how you set the stage is how somebody's going to receive something. And if you know the person is triggered or whatever by what you're saying, then wouldn't you be careful with your words too? And how you want to present stuff? Now, if they just need to know cold hard facts, your feelings are not important at that moment. No, because you need to know, lady, you're this, that. I can't sugarcoat it for you. I love you, but this is what's up. So they kind of make up and hug and they love each other. Then there is a presentation that Labrina wants to give every woman. She gives a flower bouquet to Manura, which symbolizes peace. She gives this colorful arrangement to Elena, and her words that she has for Elena is own it. It's colorful because it's a new beginning. Labrina, I hate to be off, I'm being kind of spiritual, but you're kind of prophetic. And prophetic is not that deep. You're just someone who's able to encourage someone That's the basis of it, for real. And you know, you're very in tune with people, and you know how to be a blessing to another person and to pour into another person. That's a great gift. Don't ever lose it. Latoya, I have orange. That means confidence on 1,000. She's at a place that she wasn't beforehand, and seeing the confidence that's springing forth out of Latoya at this moment. It takes a lot of courage to step out of an industry that you've been a part of for 16 years, that you know that you're thriving in, and you know people. When you have been familiar in a place for so long, you probably don't want to leave it because you're comfortable there. But she's stepping out on her own to do something totally different. Chloe, yellow, means forgiveness. You may, whatever you have done in the past, just forgive yourself or whatever type of regrets and move forward. Bro, red is for love, because we see that you're loving on yourself. In turn, Labrina wanted to thank Labrina for what she has done, and she starts by bringing one of her roses from her, or one flower from her bouquet, and all in turn everyone else to make her own assorted bouquet of all the flowers that she gave out and wanted to pour back into her. They give her affirmations, and it was just so good. You see her in tears and all that good stuff. So we're at the end where we're getting the ending credit cards, and we're finding out Labrina is expanding to having a Pilates studio. Also, they have their 5-acre ranch up for sale and increasing up to 50 acres. That's what you do around here. You multiply. You don't divide, and you don't subtract. You multiply. Latoya also is stepping away from Reign HTX. I think that was the restaurant that she was at. And she's in the process of looking into adoption agencies to get the child that she has been desiring. Manura, she's still an influencer, doing really well with that. And despite them hashing things out, her and Elena still are a bit rocky. I kind of expected that. Don't know why, but I just like, I don't know. Because it cut really hard for her, Elena, when she said dark cloud. And that's not something, if you don't feel like that this is a safe place, even if Manura didn't mean that, me, as an Aquarius, no, we done. I'm probably not going to trust you the same way. Even if you didn't mean that, I'll just probably back up a little bit from you. Let's see. Chloe, she's working on her relationship with Nico. Her and Jordan are still together, and there's wedding bells talk. The kicker to me is Nico and Jordan still have not met, and y'all talking about getting married. I don't know whose fault it is. Maybe it's just Nico. And you could say Nico's just grown or not. That don't look right, Chloe. That does not look right. That does not look right. And I'll leave it there. We'll just see you for season 2. Ro ended her on again and off again relationship with the basketball player. How she talked about it is that how she basically had to be the sunbeam of the relationship. And if y'all watch the game, she had to be the Melanie. She had to be Jason's wife on there. Yeah, she put herself on the back burner. She's still consulting for high-end restaurants, and she's in her soft girl era. And that's all we can ask for her, and that's what I celebrate out of her. Good for you, Ro. And Elena, Color du Jour Makeup Lounge has been a huge success, and Josh moved out. Sometimes you gotta lose to win again. And that's all I gotta say about that. Great first season. I expect a season 2. There's no reason why there wouldn't be. I'm just saying. They already got ending cards, so I know that episode increases will come. And I bet that there's going to be a reunion next year too. That's just what I believe. But congratulations, ladies. You guys did a very great job, and it's kind of like what we want to see. However, I do understand that the stakes get higher as the seasons increase. So, but we shall see. I do not despise anybody on this show. I have nothing I was really critical on. Just Josh, really. I was critical on Latoya because I felt like she was that fake Christian Southern Belle mess. Because it was just like, it felt weird and it felt very resemblant to her. But whatever it was, it's over. Or whatever I felt, it's over. But anyways, that's all I do have, y'all. Y'all leave your comments. Let me know what you thought of the season. Do you want more? Let me know that. Let me know who your favorites are. I do have my favorites. I already said Labrina is, but there's a lot more that are on that list right now, and I'll just leave it there. Hopefully some people don't tick me off next season, but we shall see. All right, thank you for coming, y'all. Like this video, share, subscribe, and until the next one, peace.